There we go. All right, welcome back to the Shop Class Podcast. Tonight we got a special guest, Aron Jones. How you doing?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so Aron's coming to us from, I didn't realize it even existed, which I'm like a, silly American where I don't know geography. But anyway, but he's coming from us past Maine all the way up here in this island. What's the name of this island?
Grand Manan.
Grand Manan. He is out there, man. He's like far past I would even drive to go skiing. So this is interesting. We're going to get another perspective. And a couple of weeks ago, I don't know how long ago, you were on another podcast with Mike Kanoki, and he's from Alaska. And to me, this is amazing because the whole thing is connecting tradespeople with shop teachers, and I'm here in North Jersey, and we got Duke over there in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. We got, everybody's coming from all over, Brant Taylor. I think you're in Illinois, right?
Nashville, Tennessee. We're the worldwide construction tribe.
Wow. Mark, where are you coming to us from?
This week I'm in the Midwest, but I actually had a question, Ron. If you put your house on the map and do a map track to your house, can you see what kind of drive it is from?
Oh, yeah.
I have an interesting thought just while the map is up because it's pretty phenomenal. So that says, how far is that?
11 hours. 11 hours.
So the reason I had you bring that up, if Aron's driving to Rhode Island, he could drive to your house and stay the night, get a good dinner, and then go to Rhode Island. That was my only thought, gentlemen.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm on the 95 route. Yeah, 95 goes right through.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm right off.
You never know. That could happen.
Yeah,
that could happen.
Problem. Yeah, you guys, we're in the Shop Class Podcast community. Open door. You guys stop by anytime you want.
Perfect.
Absolutely. Cool. So Aron, let's start off with the first question. Well, let me show you here. You got Big Dog Construction, and you're known for doing these short kind of like explanations of like what better practices. Is that right?
That's what they tell me.
Okay.
Yeah, it just it was brought to my attention that's over a year ago. It's probably closer to 2 years now. That I should be doing this on Instagram. And fortunately, at the time, my daughter was living with us, and I'll say she's a little bit more technologically advanced when it comes to social media than I am. So, it was good for both of us because there was, an extra connection there for us. And, I would show her or somebody else who was working for us that day some little snippet of something, how to do something faster, better, quicker. And, then she would say, well, next time you do that, you got to film that and put it on Instagram. And that's what ended up happening. And I started to have a lot of fun with it. And, I'd like to think I've been able to help quite a few people, and being part of the Instagram community, I know I've received a ton of help, and I've learned a lot along the way. I'm still learning. But that's the name of the game, right? Never stop learning.
Yeah, isn't it wild? Instagram was not something. I didn't even have a smartphone. I had a flip phone. I was a long holdout. And the kids used to say to me, why don't you get a smartphone? I was like, yeah, but you can't do this and like flip open the phone, Look at this, I was like, listen, I grew up with Andrew Dice Clay. We move our hands, flip open the phone.
I checked out Instagram. Oh, I can't even remember what year, but when I looked at it, and I was like, oh, this is just like another Facebook. And I didn't use it for years. And then another apprentice, prior to my daughter coming on, he was like, you should check out some of the stuff that some of these guys are doing on here. And I sort of started to get back into Instagram because of that. Found a little construction community, but I didn't think of posting because I didn't think that. Well, I didn't think I had that much to offer. I guess I don't know. I don't know how to put it, but I just.
What's some of the examples of stuff you would do on here? So, like, if I clicked on this one, you want to pick one and we'll talk about it a little.
Well, we can talk about this one.
Okay. Flash me. Where's that one?
That's quite a ways back. That was back in August.
Right.
But basically, with the help of a few friends, I created.
You tell me if I get to it.
You can pick anything, really.
Okay.
I don't know if we got one there.
This
wherever you want to stop somewhere, we'll find something.
This the flash me?
I'm bending something there. I can't remember what, but
I can help frame this conversation for you, Ron, just by letting you know that the Instagram community affectionately refers to Aron Jones as the sensei.
Really?
We regard him as a teacher, as a mentor of the masses, and we look to him for knowledge and inspiration. He is our sensei. That should help you understand how we regard him on Instagram.
Okay, so Aron is humble, and we have to draw this out. This is just lay it on us, Aron. Give me one to show and talk about. I want to learn. I know nothing about construction. We've been super lucky. We've had a lot of building science and construction people on here, and I've learned a ton. The thermal break being one of my favorite things in life now. So pick something, or I'll just here. Let's just grab anything. Okay, so what's going on here?
Okay, so that's basically we're just talking about vapor barriers and different materials that can be vapor barriers, and basically it's or vapor retarders. And just don't get caught up in the materials. Like, understand the principles. Like, let's get the basics down, and then we can figure out everything else from there, because you can use like any of the synthetic smart vapor barriers or smart vapor retarders that are out there. Plywood can be, a vapor retarder. OSB can be a vapor retarder. But, let's get the building science basics down. You don't have to understand like every single little detail. Just let's get the basic principle, and then we can expand on that. Understand what a perm is. And you don't even have to understand the whole technical side of things. You just have to understand that, it's the ability of a product to let water vapor pass through it.
Oh, I see.
That's different than Ron's version of a perm. He's from New Jersey.
I never had one, but I got friends that did. Yeah, that's funny.
I think they were big in the 80s.
Yeah,
man.
Technically 70s and 80s there, because it's Jersey, right? They invent all the styles.
Oh yeah, we're still in it. The boss is still alive and well, and he is the boss. Okay, this is a good preview. I actually think I want to go through a bunch of these and have you talk about them. Maybe we'll pick like a top 3 important lessons for a newbie, like someone like me coming into it, or a shop teacher. Maybe top 3 for a shop teacher. Important things you'd want to see a shop teacher come out with. But don't answer that question yet. Let's go back to the first question that we ask all the guests is Did you have shop class growing up?
Yes, I had shop class.
All right.
Junior high, so I think it was grade 7, 8, and 9. We had shop class, and after that, no, that was it.
Oh, just okay. Just in the beginning.
um,
What did you guys make?
oh, there was a bunch of stuff we did with plastic. I can't remember.
Really? Plastic?
Yeah, we would like laminate plastic. I remember. Got to remember, teenage boy, right? So me and a buddy of mine, we made little plastic ninja stars. That didn't go over well.
That's all right. I heard Jesse James was making silencers on the lathe.
We in the metal shop, we soldered together like a nice box. I remember that. Just like using like a pan brake and folding stuff and wood shop. We made clock. I made can't remember everything. That's a long time ago now.
How about a birdhouse?
Pardon me?
How about a birdhouse?
No, there's no birdhouse. No birdhouse. It was all pretty like at the time. It was a lot of fun. Looking back, it was pretty mundane. But I mean, we had fun. Obviously, I learned something. Worked out well because they're all still here.
And did you grow up in New Brunswick?
No, actually, I grew up in Manitoba.
And I'm sorry, forgive me. I don't know where that is. Is that in Canada?
West.
Oh, west.
West, more central Canada.
Oh, okay. All right. Nice. Are you a skier?
Oh, here's a perfect. If you get to North Dakota and you drive north,
Okay.
you're in Manitoba.
All right. Nice. Oh, I see. Manitoba. There we go. Okay, I see where it is. That's cool. Is there big skiing up there or not?
No, not in Manitoba. There's no skiing in Manitoba.
Oh, okay.
Manitoba's fairly flat. There is some like little ski hills and stuff like that, but Winnipeg, that's the capital city. It's known as the Chicago of the North. It's
okay.
the Windy City.
Got it. And did you now why didn't you have it in high school? What happened?
High school, the high school I went to was a technical vocational high school.
Oh.
So you had the option of going all academic or taking a vocation. So there was no shop class there because you're either supposed to be taking carpentry or electrical or drafting, something to that effect.
And did you take that stuff or you went all academic?
No, I started to take some of that stuff, and then I don't know whether it was peer pressure or outside pressure or whatever. I went all academic, take more with computers. So I spent about a month in the electrical vocation, and well, some of it was I was bored.
It's like
I had an
ironic,
I know.
Yeah.
I had an uncle who was an electrician. Prior to that first year in high school, he had shown me a few things. He had given me a few books, and I had, gone headlong into that. And then I got there and I was, wiring doorbell circuits on a piece of plywood, and I got bored.
Oh, interesting. This is something that I've, that I addressed a lot in some of these podcasts, or meetings, but also in my class, is that it's good to teach the trades. Like it's good. Like for instance, I teach auto shop, but I don't teach them how to fix brake pads. I teach them to improve something.
Yep.
And I think that the creativity is the hook. don't get me wrong, it's good to teach the basics, but like you said, there's going to be some kids that find that the straight just okay procedure that might not be enough to hook them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I add in like creativity, and not willy-nilly, like measure the base and then make an improvement. And that's what I consider, in my opinion, engineering. So you measured what you started with, and then you made an improvement, and we can measure it, like either maybe it weighs less but still holds, like the bridge thing.
Yeah.
Like yeah. So I could see why someone would get bored. Also, the context in high school is a little hard. Like I took drafting from a trade school at night. Even as a freshman, which was I tried to reach out because I wasn't getting a shop class. But when I got there, it was all, full grown people taking this for a job. And it was scary to me. I was like a freshman. So I didn't do too many. I did a few, but it was good exposure. That was good exposure, but I couldn't stick with it because the context was all wrong. We were just making H blocks. Whereas I wanted to build cars, So it's very difficult as a shop teacher to make sure that you've got some sort of practicality in it, but also a hook for that particular student,
Well, not only that, but I mean, I was 16 years old. I didn't know what I was doing. And you've got all these options in front of you, and it's worse for kids now. I believe it's absolutely worse for kids now because there's even more options than there ever has been. And the only thing I would suggest is try and keep them engaged.
Yeah.
Even if it's not what they want to do, if you can keep them interested and they pick up that little nugget that maybe they're not going to use it moving forward in building a car or carpentry or electrical, but they're going to apply that nugget down the road in some other shape or fashion.
Let me swing it over to Duke for a second. Duke teaches the middle school, and I like what he says he calls it like throwing sparks. So he gives them exposure to a whole bunch of stuff. But how do you find the engagement? Is it difficult, or how do you handle that?
Kids love it. You introduce that kind of technology. Plus, even better was like a prime example last year when we teach half the kids were online. Like they were online so much. They came to my class and they were like zombies. So like even in the beginning, you had them do a little bit of computer work, but I tried to get them off their computers as soon as possible. Last year, these kids were happy just sanding. We had to keep, sharing the tools and everything to a minimum. And luckily I had enough tools for the kids to use. They can use there for the marking period. But I had to get them unplugged, and they loved the class. They ran to the class just to sand, But we try using the newer technologies, and this is just the middle school, but we expose them to 3D printers. I have a remote class right now, just remote. These kids just want to talk about the 3D printer because it's new technology they don't know anything about. But the price of 3D printers have come down so much. You can get one now, the same ones we use in our classroom for $150. And these kids, even though they're remote and online, they want to learn tomorrow about 3D printed houses. They want to talk about the 3D printer, because they've been on their computers for so long. So they have access to that information, but nothing beats working with your hands.
Yeah,
That's a fact.
And did you do some competitions lately? Is this the racing I saw?
Yeah, we were on the robotics competition this past weekend. We had a couple. But yeah, we do the traditional Pinewood Derby cars, but the kids, 6th graders, that's their first time, using, some of them the first time using a tool. Back when I started 25 years ago, they did a lot of stuff with their parents or their grandfathers, but now they're coming in. The first time they touch a coping saw or a back saw or a screwdriver, that's the first time they've touched that tool ever.
Wow. No kidding.
But that gives them the confidence, to use that tool in the future. I've had kids tell me, I broke this at my house and I wouldn't have the nerve to use the tools to fix it if I didn't have your class. And that just something like that. You're throwing sparks out and see what catches.
Yeah, that's
not every
cool.
kid is gonna like using the tools and the machines. You'll get some kids that won't, but a lot of times it's different and they do enjoy it. But you expose them to the robotics. Some of these kids, you just told them a little bit because they're the programming part of it. That's beyond me. I can only show them, and then they take it to the next level and the next level past that. And then they start talking languages I can't even understand.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I find the COVID thing burnt them out a little. And then what I do sometimes is I come at them at a different angle. I keep a guitar in the shop. There's this kid who's like too cool for school, and I broke out the guitar one time. He's like, "Hey, you want to show me a little bit? I want to get a guitar." I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Okay." He never talks to me. I was like, "Okay, sure." So it's like, bam, got him. That's it. Now he's in. So now I give him a little lesson every so often. I don't care. Let him play guitar. That's fine with me. Yeah. So
Did you teach me your favorite Journey song?
What's that? Oh,
I said, did you teach him your favorite Journey song?
which is
Bon Jovi.
Oh yeah, Bon Jovi. Yeah, we could do "Living on." Dead or Alive would be a good one. That I can actually play. Want it, but it is difficult. Like I think Duke he's making it look easy because he knows what he's doing. But you're right, Aaron. It is difficult. The kids come in, they're just sort of like staring at their phone, and but to get them going, you got to have some sort of competition or new tech or something they've never done, and definitely like 3-dimensional, So I agree. So if you didn't go full on into the trades, Aaron, what was this transition? How did you end up here? I would love to hear this bridge, which I think we've all gone through this wild, ironic transition. And we got the Big Dog T-shirt right there.
I still enjoyed working with my hands, and I still liked like dabbling in that sort of thing. But I guess I figured, that would just be like something that I would do, like whatever maintenance around the house or whatever moving forward. It wasn't going to be my career. Along the way, I ended up joining the military, and I spent a few years in the infantry. And towards the tail end of my military career, I had a chance to change trade from infantry to construction tech, which is it's basically a carpenter with some extra stuff thrown in. And so I spent a few years doing that. And in 2001, I got out of the military, and here I am.
Yeah.
The rest is kind of history.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So I didn't know that's an option. So in the military, you could switch into like a tradesperson position.
I don't know all the ins and outs of it exactly now, but I understand that it's roughly the same as once you've been in for say your first contract, you can apply to another trade. It was called an occupational transfer, and some of that was about retention too, right? They have somebody who served 3, 6, 7 years in combat arms, and if you want to keep them engaged, let's move them over, right?
Right.
So that's, I don't know. That's about all I know about that, I guess.
Yeah. That's okay. So then from there, and now what kind of stuff did you do in the military as far as construction goes?
Well, there was a lot of training.
Except don't tell us the classified stuff.
There's like projects on base. There's like sort of capital construction projects on base. There's stuff done out in the field. I did some concrete work for a C-span in Greenwood, which is over in Nova Scotia. So that's like a steel dome structure that gets put together in a hurry. One of the more
Yeah.
interesting ones we did was a straw bale project at 17 Wing in Winnipeg.
What is that? What do you mean? What is that?
Well, basically, a building was built out of straw. So you
Okay.
take like the square straw bales and you stack them up. We did a little differently. We covered ours with tar paper and stucco wire, and then it gets 2 inches of stucco inside and out. There's more to it than that, but this is like the very sort of clip
Doesn't seem
notes.
like a military building. Is this an experiment?
Actually, it was. It was an experiment. So the water fuel engineering technicians needed a new building. That's like a trade, right? And this was considered to be a green building in many ways. Everything basically that went into it was going to be 100% recyclable in one
Ah.
form or another. And the other idea was sustainability. And the University of Manitoba was involved in this project. Now you have to remember, I was still cutting my teeth as a carpenter. I was in no way, shape, or form a builder or anything like that. So some of the subtle nuances that went on there flew right over my head at the time. But that's like 2000. Might have been 99, but somewhere in that range.
Okay, that's cool. So then you come out of the military, and did you start working for somebody else, or did you start your own company right away?
I didn't start my own company right away. Well, you're a subcontractor, but you're not a subcontractor, if that makes any sense. I did quite a bit of that. Worked for some other people. Eventually made my way to New Brunswick and did some of my own work. Worked for some great companies as well. Worked as a subcontractor for some great companies where I learned a lot of stuff too. And eventually we landed on Graham and Ann.
Oh, cool. All right. Hey, we got Steve Basic coming in.
Oh, time for me to leave.
No. That's awesome. Well, that's actually perfect timing. Maybe we could go over those the top 3 things that you would recommend if a construction shop teacher was teaching. That'd be good timing. Hey, Steve.
Hey,
You're
Steve.
here. What's happening? All right. Got Steve Basic in the house. Passive house master. This is great. Thanks for joining. How are you doing? Oh, you're muted. Let's get you unmuted. Okay, not yet.
Well, foot pedals aren't
It'd
working.
be helpful if I turned off my mute, wouldn't it?
There we go. All right, now we hear you.
There you go.
Cool.
I said I'm always doing great. I would never let it get me down. I never let life win.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, exactly. Tell me about it. So we were just getting the background on Aron, and
That's a short story.
It's only about 30 seconds longer than yours, Steve.
I hear you. I want mine to be real short.
Actually, you guys both have a military background, and that was kind of cool. And he did some construction in there, and I didn't even realize that was an option. So he was giving me kind of the story there. But what we could do is, Aron's got these short videos that he does, and as a shop teacher and someone who's new to looking at building construction, it'd be kind of cool to maybe go through a few and kind of give us like the top 3. What do you think a shop teacher should be covering to get the kids ready?
Well, not every video probably should go to be a shop teacher. Because some of it maybe shouldn't be in like shop class, but you can literally pick anything out of there.
All right, we're gonna click something random here.
Some of it's just, there is some posts that are just fun. That's part of what it's about, right?
It's not allowed.
No, it's allowed. It's allowed. Like this one here is just like a quick jig. These service stairs, I kind of had, I was limited in the scope of what I could build by what I had for material on site.
Okay, wait. More importantly, I see an airplane.
Yeah, it's actually in a hangar.
This is cool.
So the biggest waste of space in a hangar is vertical.
Oh, right.
Because you have to have this like great big huge structure, but they can't utilize 75% of the space basically. So this was a way to utilize some of the upper level. This post doesn't show any of it, like the upper part, but I had to have a continuous handrail there, and other people were busy doing other things, so I made a quick little plywood jig to hold the offset so I could do it by myself.
Oh, I see. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Like there's that there's tons of space in a hangar. Oh my god. So they're making like a loft or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's grab the next one. Is this the same job?
Just 1 second. Something popped up here. I gotta close it out. I don't know what's going on here.
Okay, no problem.
I might have to get technical help. Oh, there we go. All right, where are we at?
Oh, we are on the next one.
Okay.
And you can, yeah. Okay, is this the same job?
That's the same job.
Okay. Another view. This is before the railing went in.
Before the railing went in. I forget what I was talking about exactly there, but
okay. All right.
I got a question on this one. You got 4 stringers instead of 3. Is that because of the stuff they'll be carrying in crates, or
it had to do with the width of the stairwell, and it had to do with the possible loads that may go up that stairs. A lot of airplane parts are light, but some are very heavy. So just depending on what was going to happen, and you have to factor in the human factor, right? So somewhere along the way, somebody's probably going to try and take a dolly and wheel something up those stairs that probably shouldn't go upstairs, but it's going to happen anyways.
That's great. I never even thought about that. Sure. So you're overbuilding it because maybe they're going to try and get the engine down the stairs or put an old engine up in the attic so they can hang on to it for 30 years and then sell it on eBay later.
It's a thing. It's
Yeah.
a thing.
That's interesting. And I also didn't know these are stringers, but I figured it out because there's 4. I'm learning here. This is great. Okay. Let's try all right, we see a level here.
So that's actually a tool that a Canadian guy made. No, not John. James Scribner. So I don't know if you can see it, but it's a framing square that actually fits right inside the level.
Oh yeah. Oh, does that make it easier for your layout for the stairs?
I find it easier for stair layout because you got a 4-foot straight edge that actually bridges any irregularities or big chunks of wane or anything like that in your 2x material.
Hey, Ron, can you play the audio to this video? Because Aaron, if Ron's not familiar with Stringer, then there's a whole nother conversation on Rise and Run.
Oh yeah.
And the rise and run is exciting. Could you play the audio, Ron?
I think it's just music. Here we go.
That's probably just that's just a slideshow. There was just music going on there on that one.
There was one you did on this in this mix that did say the rise and run.
Maybe here.
No, that was just having fun. That one.
Got it.
All right. We got the tech fireman. Nick is joining us. Okay. So, all right. Let's see. Okay. You know, and I'm just kind of looking for stuff that would, you know, maybe is important if you want to pass on. All right. We're looking at old insulation here, something like that, right?
Oh, that's.
Oh, dear.
So what you have there is.
Yeah. What's going on there?
Well, there's some bad design and lack of flashing.
What is is there black stuff? Is that mold?
No, that's actually, well, they call it dry rot. So the wood actually looks almost like it's been burnt.
Yeah.
But it's not. That's just decay from water.
Whoa.
Steve,
what
Steve
went
talks
wrong
about
here?
it all the time. Water is the killer of buildings. And that structure's, I think at the time, was 10 or 12 years old. And we removed both stories of the exterior wall on that building, mostly with our hands. Basically, the windows had become structural. That's what was holding the floor and the roof up.
Oh my God. The windows?
Well, yeah, everything had like settled onto the windows.
Whoa. How did you, what was the symptom? Like, why'd they call you in? This was.
They didn't actually call me in. A friend of mine was going to do a small job there, and he noticed that there was something bigger going on, and he called me for a second. I came, took one look. We went back to the shop, got jack posts, got some beams that I had laying around, came back and started shoring up the structure.
Wow.
Yeah, it was required. It totally ruined my schedule that year, but
yeah.
But basically, none of those windows were flashed properly. They're just like a lot of bad design details. And, you know, that's what happens.
So what caused this?
Water getting in.
I mean, design-wise, like what did they do wrong?
There are insert windows that were not properly detailed. And as near, like, I don't have a copy of the plans, but as near as I can tell from what I did see is there was no room left to make any type of flashing. There was no head flashing. There was no sill flashing. There was just no water management.
Okay.
There was no rain screen. There, like, nothing. So once water started to get in, it just sort of took over the structure.
Would they have seen the water on the inside, or is it just vapor? Like it's just accumulation of moisture? It's just moisture.
Well, it's bulk water running in the structure, but quite often up here we'll have vapor barrier on the inside. At least when that was built. So sometimes, if the vapor barrier is moderately well detailed, it will keep you from seeing water on the inside. Like you might see a little something on your trim or whatever, but not enough maybe to make you concerned about that there's an actual issue.
Got it. And let's take a look. Okay, pick one for me.
I don't know. Scroll down. we'll find something fun here somewhere. I don't know
Okay.
where.
What's going?
Oh,
I like destruction. What's going on there?
okay. Well, hang on. So this was, I didn't pick up on it. I should have, but we'd already done some work on this project where we had alleviated some wind washing in the attic, and we still have to finish the siding on the structure, but we started to remove the old siding, which was hardy board directly on a WRB, directly on OSB, so no rain screen. But it was unusual to have rot at the top of the wall, and
Okay.
it took me a minute to figure out, and just because sometimes the wheels don't turn correctly. But what had happened is the wind washing in the attic, where some snow had gotten in there, had melted and come down into the wall cavity. And there's a band in the wall cavity across that area where the insulation had been pushed down by water. So then you had a thermal bridge.
Oh,
I know you guys like thermal bridges.
interesting. So a thermal bridge is the opposite of a thermal break.
That's right. That's right. So
Okay.
basically you had the warm temperature inside able to go right to the exterior, the backside of the OSB. The backside of the OSB then became the condensation point. So you get wood oatmeal
On the inside, right?
on the backside of the OSB. Yeah.
When you say backside, is that the inside facing
Yeah.
direction?
In the wall cavity. In the wall cavity.
Wow. Yeah, I
So,
mean,
like,
you understand, forgive me, like I never thought about this stuff, but I could see now why it's like a reverse soda can.
yeah, kind of. Yeah. That's actually not
Yeah,
a
I mean, I
bad.
didn't think of that. I think probably Mark probably said that at one point, or maybe Steve. And I'm learning. It's really cool. So, what would you have done to prevent this? What? But I know you went through the. You got. Forgive me. I know nothing. Pretend like this is shop class.
Okay. So
Yeah.
there's a couple different versions of what people call wind washing. One is where the wind blows the insulation back off the top of your wall in the attic. So basically, you end up with bare spots on your ceiling, and you have no insulation covering over the top of your wall. So
Does
if
that
this is
come
your
up through
top
the?
plate, there should be insulation over top of it, right? And when the
Wait,
wind
how does
blows
it?
it back, then you
Oh.
have this bare area.
Okay.
So, and if you have wind able to push insulation back, chances are it can push fine snow, maybe
Oh. Wait, and so just under so it is this the what they call, I guess, the soffit where it's where it breathes?
yep.
So the attic breathes, there's the overhang. I can't believe I'm getting this right, by the way. You guys can understand. I know nothing about houses. Okay. So this is very exciting. So you got the overhang, and then there's like a vent or something, and then beyond that, there's insulation. And the wind can push it back if you're not properly protected.
Yep.
And if it does, then you got a pathway for moisture to come in, maybe. All right. Wow. So what do you do instead? You put a better vent or something? Like, what do you do?
Well, there's different methods of solving the problem. Ideally, you do it when you build it. That's the ideal way.
Yeah.
But everything goes back to I the phrase I always use is I don't install a window the same way I did 20 years ago.
Okay.
So, and you only know what you know. You can't know what you don't know, right?
Right.
So, some type of stop, something that will prevent the wind from being able to push your insulation back. You want to be able to control that. There's products you can buy off the shelf. You can use rigid foam. You can use chunks of scrap zip wall from the site, chunks of scrap OSB, plywood. there's a thousand. There's cardboard stops. That's actually what we used on that project to remediate the problem, just because it was easy to drag around up in the attic and get in there and fasten in place.
Okay, that's interesting. Where does the but we are kind of looking at the top part of this video. Is that a vent of some kind?
That's the soffit. So that's
Oh,
ventilated soffit.
and so where did this thing fail? Like, can you see the failure point?
You say that again, Ron?
Oh, can you see the failure point here? Because I see it does have a vent. So how the wind got through that and pushed something?
Yeah. So it's up in the attic would be where the failure happened.
Okay.
And if you go back far enough, I don't know how far back you'd have to go, but
I got the scroll bar. I can go really far.
yeah, keep going, keep going.
Oh, this is back.
Oh yeah.
Going way back.
This entire house I have sort of dubbed the bad design project.
This is where I learned the most. I learned through failure. If something's right, I don't understand it because it's too right. I need to see failures to understand the value.
The roof design of this house, like great, maybe Southern California, Arizona, someplace that sees less than 20 inches of rain a year. New Brunswick sees on average, I think, about 46 inches. So yeah.
I see some failure.
Keep going.
Keep going. All right. I like this one though. That looks destructive.
That's actually the same project.
Ah, I knew it. I can smell it.
Okay.
You know how I know? Because I look at the bottom of my Ford Ranger that has no rust protection, and every year I'm losing a little bit of floorboard, and I'm losing the shackles for the leaf springs, and I'm like, man. So every time I make a replacement, I do it right.
I don't know if you've gone too far or not, but just keep scrolling a little bit more. We might be able to get to the beginning of this project.
Oh, I'm scrolling. We're going.
That's a lot of videos there, Aaron.
Yeah.
I haven't seen all of these. Maybe in my next life.
Nope. So every single one of these is a lesson.
Just about. I think, I don't know. We missed it somewhere along the way. Yeah, you went too far, but it's hard to keep track of all this stuff.
Yeah, this would
there's a good video. Oh, not that one.
Okay.
This.
Destruction. Boom. Hey, we got Matt Bloomquist joining.
That's behind that piece of aluminum was raw wood. So you get condensation behind aluminum, and wood doesn't last behind aluminum. If you cap spruce, pine, fir with aluminum, it's limited lifespan.
You can't breathe, right?
Well, not only that, but you have this metal surface that is you're going to have something condensed on the backside of that. And if you keep wood wet, it's going to degrade.
Why did they put that piece of aluminum there? Why couldn't they just put the piece of wood there? Why did they do that?
Well, it's still a thing to a certain extent. As if you cap something in aluminum, then you don't have to maintain it. You don't have to paint it. And I'm guilty of doing that too. For years, I did it. Now I try and provide some type of a barrier between the wood and the aluminum. But
what type of barrier would you put? Like, what would you put?
A piece of Tyvek, a tar paper, just anything to separate the wood from the aluminum, so you don't have that condensation going directly onto the wood.
The thermal break.
Well, kind of, yeah.
Or even better,
instead of capping it out, just replace it. There's a lot of great products out there now. A lot of PVC trims. I haven't had a chance to use them yet, but a lot of these fly ash products are, pretty good.
Yeah. I think Matt's here. Matt, oh, he's driving.
He's driving.
Yeah, I'm driving. I just got done teaching the plumbing class for the college kids.
Nice.
Nice. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, I'll probably pop in and out as I get home and log on. Hey, as I'm just listening, Aaron, are you guys talking about like fascia covers and stuff? I'm not really looking at the phone, or or are you talking about like covering window trim with aluminum, or just in general?
Well, anything in general. If you can wrap your fascia,
Yeah.
that's even better.
Because that's very common for us. In fact, that's the detail we'll use for our fascia cover. Now, granted, we have bedded soffit connected to that, those fascia boards and stuff, so it's only the front side is touching, in contact with aluminum. So what? And we haven't done that. We haven't put that on yet. So what? You're saying tar paper and stuff. What would you say as far as, capping that fascia board off of that fascia cover? What would you say on the front edge? Put on the front of the fascia board before we cap it. Is rips of tar paper good enough, or throwing on like tape? Or tape would be kind of expensive, but.
Are you using zip on the roof?
We've already the drip edge and everything's on the roof. In fact, they're getting ready to put the shingles on as soon as we get a warm day next week. So it's all ready. So like our fascia cover, slides up underneath the drip edge, and it's already in place. Water and ice shield's already on. So we didn't lap. I know I was talking to Bob about this, and Bob and Mark were there about some people cover. Wrap from the fascia up around the top to the sheeting deck. We've just never done that. It's just never been really the common practice around here. But like you're saying, kind of, we're putting like a capillary break there, pretty much, right? Is that what you're saying behind the metal?
Yeah. No.
Gotcha.
On the window detail, I understand that a lot more. On the fascia, you're getting a lot of wind through there. I'm not as worried about fascia being capped with aluminum personally.
You have air channels underneath of that with the soffit, because it caps the soffit, so that there's I've never seen plenty of fascia boards rot. But I wouldn't say it was because of having metal fascia on.
That's a good picture right there.
But I could see definitely what you're talking about. I didn't know if it's something, since we have it open, maybe we should, belt and suspenders kind of thing for us, or
if it's in the project, like if you can sell it to the client, so to speak, it's extra insurance. And I like to have my fascia covered, and then whatever I'm using on my roof, whether it's, zip or some type of peel and stick or ice and water shield, come down and seal onto that. And that way, if you have any type of failure, you never end up with bulk water channeling into your fascia, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
That's the only cheap insurance I see. And, but I do agree, Mark. There's it's not a big thing. It's just, if you're there and, time and the budget allows it, it's cheap insurance.
Yeah. Now I absolutely see, I've taken off plenty of aluminum on window wrappings, because obviously water got behind and trapped in there, and take that aluminum off and that wood's just gone.
Interesting. These are not things that I normally think about, and it's wild to me. How the moisture gets in. So you have the thermal, you have the wind, and you have the moisture. Those are kind of the three things, right?
And Steve's favorite topic, vapor.
Yeah. Is that the moisture? Is vapor the same? In a way.
Water's water.
Yeah, vapor.
No matter how it gets there.
That's wild. And when you say the fascia, is that this piece right here? Oh, sorry, I'm not showing my screen. Is that the? It kind of looks like
The last photo you had up, there you go. That's the spot, Ron.
Yep.
Yeah.
So even that one, if Matt caps the face of it in aluminum, the back side of it is open. So technically that wood, even if something goes sideways, that pine's going to dry on the back side of the board. That area you're not as worried about. The window, where's that going to go, right? It's not getting washed with air for dry out after it gets wet. Wood can get wet as long as there's a chance to dry. If it gets wet and can't dry, you have what you call a sponge.
Oh yeah. Okay. And then long enough, and it looks like the that burnt spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then they call it dry rot.
Dry rot. Nice.
Which makes no sense, but that's what they call it.
Yeah. All right, that was the warm up. That was the warm up. So if you're gonna teach this in a class, yeah, I really think we need like the top 3 things. That's the challenge tonight.
Well, we already kind of touched on it, but engagement, and you definitely have to keep people engaged.
Yeah.
How you achieve that? Well, that's a case-by-case basis, and you're definitely not going to be able to engage everyone all the time.
Right.
But yeah, that's the number
true.
one.
Yeah, that's definitely true. 100%. And that's hard to do because if you're building a whole house, that's a big project. I mean, Matt handles that. I don't know how he does it. I couldn't even imagine. Matt, how do you keep engagement?
Open a prayer. Well, it's kind of like every class. Sorry, I'm just walked in the house, so I'm moving around. I mean, it's like every class. You have your kids. Let's say I call it the 33% rule, right? 33% are all in, love being there. Doesn't matter if it's warm, cold, whatever. 33% are there because they're not at school and they're like, all right, that's fine. They do what they're told. They don't cause problems. They're just there and get through it. Then you got 33% that some days they're all for, some days this is the dumbest thing in the world. So now is that a science? No, but I think every teacher's going to agree with that, kind of scenario. But like this year's group, they're all pretty good. Now, the last 2 days, I have some kids that I am never going to tell to go work for Aaron because he lives in Canada and it's cold. And and they now, the southern folk, Brant, I can send them to Brant. He's in Tennessee. They'll love Tennessee. But then at the same time, I got kids when it's, hot as hell outside. Well, they wish they're up with Aaron getting that nice coastal breeze. So, engagement's been fine. As teachers, we know it comes in waves. The first year, 2020 grads, they were pretty good. I had a few kids that they were they were the party group. They had fun, but they got shit done. Last year's group, as soon as we all came back from COVID and everybody's there, they had a friend. I'm too good to do stuff. I'm not doing anything today because I have my nice tennis shoes on, blah, blah, blah. This year's group, I just only have a few kids that try not to do as much, but I don't have anybody that causes any problems. I don't have to worry about trust, going and messing with stuff or, scratching on the siding and things like that, or, hammer nails into wherever because they're bored. As teachers, we know it goes in ways, but engagement, the good thing is when you're building a house, most days there's enough to do that you can give somebody a task. So like that drywall, throwing up all those 16-foot pieces of drywall we just did in a matter of 8 working hours, everybody had a task. I mean, it was go, go, go. Like while one sheet was going up, they had to start, they had to, do any air sealing details and put up adhesive for 16 feet worth of drywall. And
Matt, is that the garage or is that the main space of the house?
that's the entire house. There's no interior walls.
That's a modern type of thing, right?
Yeah. So what we do is Steve and Jake do this a lot. We actually threw up ceiling strapping. And so what we did is we put the ceiling strapping to break right there on 16 foot from each end of the side of the wall. So literally all those skinny panels there in the middle, that's the only cutting we had to do. So we literally cut up 2 sheets of 14-foot drywall, and that's all the cutting except for like the end ripping piece at the, at one end. And so it was, and we had 2 lifts going. So while one lift was holding it,
little yellow lift thing.
yeah. So while one lift was holding it, the other one, they were loading the other one and they were rolling. So they still had time to complain that how cold their toes were because, it was 6 degrees yesterday and today.
Wow.
But so today, it was hard to be bored these last 2 days. Now, some days, it's where we get real technical and I have to do more teaching. You get the kids that kind of stand around and pay attention or don't pay attention. I mean, that's just your everyday teacher stuff. So,
yeah.
But yeah, nice thing about building a house, there's always something to do. Like I always say, when people are like, I'm done, I'm like, no, you're not. The house ain't done.
Yeah, I'm done. I tell them, that means you're not done.
Yeah.
I've never heard any kid say I'm done, and it was actually true. They're never done.
Yeah. Is there a sold sign in our yard? No, we're not done.
Yeah. Oh, here you go. This is a great picture. So these are the kids?
Yep. That's morning class, Wyatt, Briar, Miles. We built these little sawhorses to throw that toe pick on. So it spanned the whole way. They just walked back and forth, zipping screws up in there. And it, obviously that's one thing also, I get recognition for, teaching building science stuff and air sealing and things like that. But also one of the big things I do try to make sure is they show up on your job site. You're not sitting there wanting to poke your eyes out as they're trying to screw one screw into the drywall. Because when they're learning to do that, that is, you just, when you're paying somebody and they just keep messing up the screw, you want to freak out, right, Aaron? Right. So I want to make sure the kids can screw, nail, saw, do all the basic skills that they need. It's not all about, the high performance side of the building. Sometimes it's just the full everyday carpentry, whoever trades tasks that they need to do.
This is actually a pretty cool photo because Aaron was talking about the drywall. The insulation being blown back. So if you look at the belly of the roof, Ron, where your finger is behind the light shaft, there's actually looks like a piece of like 1/4-inch luan that's nubbed in there. So now the insulation can't get blown out.
Where's that? Sorry, here?
You want to walk them through that, Matt? I don't want to talk about
Yeah, sorry. The girls are spraying each other with a spray bottle. So right behind there where your finger pointer. Remember we talked about the baffles? Those are the baffles.
Got it.
Yeah. And that's going over.
So you put the insulation and then you put this, or you stick the insulation behind that?
The insulation will be underneath inside. That keeps the airflow going up. Remember how we were talking about the vent that's out there with the fascia and all that? That's what shoots the air up underneath the roof and everything. Insulation will pretty much fill from on top of that drywall up to the top edge of those. And that box you're looking at, that's the air sealing. That's the air sealing detail we did where we made a box. I'm hoping that we were able to control our air leaks around these things better. And then that green caulking is a Contiga acoustical caulking, very, very sticky stuff. And then any of the white stuff you see is just actually drywall adhesive to give it a little bit extra, so you don't have to throw so many screws into the ceiling there. So that's what you guys are looking at there. So that's our air sealing, how that all connects up there to that plane and stuff. And we'll now
Why do
There's
you have
no
a
wires dropping there. We'll actually go up in the attic and drop the wires down since we have a big enough attic, and we actually pre-built the catwalks up in there, and so we wanted to hustle up and get the kids the heat house. So the nice thing is, even there's no real insulation on this attic, in the above the ceiling in the attic, building a little more airtight. Even when you're doing temp heat, you hold a little bit more than you traditionally did. What
is the box for again? This box here?
We'll put a lot of people say can lights, recessed lights.
Oh,
but now they're thin wafer lights because they're LEDs and they have these little clips. So that thing's literally only like just shy of 3 inches deep.
yeah.
But that's all you need because the wafer lights are literally not. I don't even know if they're a full inch.
So if this was car stuff, this would be like a subframe or something like that. You know, I get it. That is just a structure so you can put all your hats in or whatever it is.
Yep. The lights will go in there. Wires will be in there. We'll blow lots of insulation over top of it, air seal it, and so that way when we do the blower door, hopefully we don't have leaks in there. Good thing is we'll do the blower door test. Oh, go ahead, Ron.
I understand now. You're sealing the hats.
Yep.
It's another way of making it like a seal.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I didn't realize that. You don't just cut a hole and put the hat in. You got to seal the back. You got to make like an envelope inside your envelope.
Yeah. So it's like putting on a respirator mask that's really tight around your mouth. When you open your mouth, that'll be the hole for the light, but it's so tight. That's what we're going for.
That's awesome.
So Ron, it kind of didn't matter before because while you were losing all the warm air through your can light to the attic, you had a 75 watt bulb in the can light throwing heat down. So essentially you were making heat while you were losing heat. And that's kind of how it was. But this is not so much about the heat, although that's inclusive. It's about the seal. So now the air can't get out, which also means inside you don't have to do as much work or spend as much energy to make it comfortable because there's no sense in heating your attic unless you're keeping a friend up there because you have a controversial argument or something.
And then they're LEDs, I assume. So now you don't have that extra. You don't have all this heat that you're. This is amazing.
Well, in Matt's case, actually, these are really unique can lights. These are all DC. So besides,
get out, really?
Yeah, besides being LED bulbs and fixtures, these are all DC. So basically, you can plug in your Cat 6 to the light.
Oh, I remember we talked about it. It's low voltage, right?
Yep.
Oh, interesting. So you're kind of getting into the automotive world here.
Well, the houses kind of need to because why are we going from DC to AC back to DC?
Yeah, that's a good question. There's been that question for a while because if you think about it, all the computers are running on the batteries DC, and then I think they just send it to that's funny. Now there's a lot of DC stuff in the house, so we converted from AC to DC. Exactly. And coming with the batteries coming into the house, that's going to be a thing.
There you go.
Wow. This is so cool. The thing is that I don't know. In the world that I see, I don't think this is very obvious. So I think it's great you guys are teaching this and you're doing it and you're able to explain it. So like Aaron, you're talking about this stuff on your Instagram and and we got this shop class podcast and people are talking about it. I think it's important details because it has evolved. Although if you just walked into a room, you wouldn't know because it looks the same as 50 years ago. No. So it's important.
Actually, 50 years ago, the ceiling was probably plaster, right? There was no light fixture up there. There was maybe a gas line, so it was air sealed. ironically, the ceiling was air sealed. It's just hilarious. By the way, Ron, do you know what they call a stolen Tesla?
What?
An Edison.
There you go. That's good. That's a good one. Yeah, I mean, that's basically what happened. Yeah, he was ruthless. Oh, there it is. Now, did you guys make that off-site, or you just do it right there?
They made it, I believe, in the wood shop. They made all those because they got a really nice wood shop in that high school, and then they brought them there, and then looks like the kids finished them by rolling out the zip. Is that right, Matt?
Yeah. We had really cold days last week. So I said, all right, we'll stay inside. That's fine. And we just assembly lined them right there in the shop and knocked out like a dozen of them in like 40 minutes. I did a thing with a router bit to make them so those things actually folded. And then those plates that we put up first, I actually ran on the CNC machine, and the kids finished them off with jigsaws. But actually, if you had a friend with CNC, you could run all these things, a couple sheets of plywood, a 1/2 inch and 3/4. You could have a CNC machine cut all these things out and have them ready to go in no time and stuff. So, but yeah, I'm just kind of bouncing around helping the kids. If you guys see me turn the screen off, I'm still here. I'm listening. But yeah, the kids, we just did a quick assembly line and pulled them up, taped them. They already know how to tape and roll. And someone on LinkedIn commented about a complicated task, and was like, not really. It was basic skills. It was running a staple gun and rolling tape using a router, table saw, miter saw. I mean, it was all the stuff you learn on A1 shop class. So
this router here is what gave you that 45-degree thing, and then you left the backing as the hinge and you flipped it up, right?
That's it. Now, it's not a perfect deal because it's OSB, so it doesn't fold perfectly and it crumbles, but that was irrelevant. Like,
yeah. This is not a piece of furniture. This is just a box.
Correct.
Well, and the tape is doing the air seal, so the cut is just giving you a speed. And if someone's complaining about the system, if you said if you had students, again, build this in 40 minutes, 12 of them, that is nothing. I mean, I couldn't wrap 12 Christmas presents at Christmas Eve before morning time. I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, cool. and if I was doing them by myself, I could probably do the whole house worth in, I don't know, if you had a rainy day, you'd have everything done by morning in the shop, which, everyone knows building a house, you always have a shop day because, they dug the hole and then it rained 3 inches and you got to go do something. So pre-planned, you'll have them done, and one person that with the skill set can knock them out. But like I said, with full students, shoot, it was, easy peasy for us. The kids sat there and bullshitted the whole time with each other talking while they did it. It wasn't even a thought. They didn't even have to think about the process. They just, everyone had their task. They did it, and there you go.
That's awesome. All right, cool. All right, Matt, go do your thing. It's all good.
I'll jump back on. I'll be listening to you guys, but I'll jump back on screen here in a short bit. Aaron, good seeing you, man. See you too, Steve.
Yeah, Aaron, are you going down to International Build Show in Florida?
No, I don't have time to drive down, and in our current climate,
yeah,
the safe way for me to travel across the border is to drive, because coming back across, if you run into trouble, you're not getting on a plane, which means you're stuck wherever you're stuck. Driving, I can still drive across the border as long as I've got a plan. So Rhode Island, that's going to happen totally within driving distance. Doesn't take up, too much of my time to just get there.
What's going on in Rhode Island?
What Rhode Island is, you got to tell him what the Rhode Island is and why you're staying at his house in Jersey.
I missed part of that, Mark, but I caught the gist of it. So
yeah.
I was just saying, I don't think Ron knows what's going on in Rhode Island.
Okay.
Probably want to share that.
JLC Live.
What is it called?
So, JLC, Journal of Light Construction. So it'd be like the International Build Show, but a little smaller, a little less hustle and bustle.
Well, it's also
And-
showing techniques, right?
Yes.
And processes versus IBS is a little bit of showy products.
Yeah.
So
It's
to speak.
well, you get a little bit of that too, but it's if you know who you're looking for, it's going to be more personable.
Okay. This is it right here.
That's the magazine. Now I forget how it all works out, but JLC Live is basically, these guys, and you get together in person. I
Hey,
imagine
D-Man, type in
probably Mike
JLC
Dutrin will
Live.
probably-
Okay.
There'll be some people there. Probably Mike Gutrin will be putting on something about decks or something.
All right. Cool. So that's awesome. Yeah, these are a lot of fun to go to. I've been to a whole bunch of conferences. I like going to the bicycle show. You get to see so many construction techniques. You get to see good people and whatnot. Are you going to be presenting? Okay,
Not as far as I know.
that's cool.
I imagine there's probably going to
What are
be
you
some
looking-
people I know, either personally or via Instagram, that are going to be presenting.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
and this is mostly for contractors.
there you go. There's everything that's going on. Pardon me?
Is it mostly for contractors?
Contractors,
Yeah, is it mostly for contractors?
builders, remodelers, anybody in the construction industry.
Cool. Yeah, you got to give us a report. Let us know what you thought of this.
Absolutely.
That'd be good. Cool. All right. Oh wow. I've never been to the Rhode Island Conference Center. I wonder if it's cool. Have you been to this before?
I haven't been to this one before, no.
I have, yeah.
Ah. What do you think?
I think it's one of the best shows in the country.
Oh wow, no kidding. Good. Is there something I should look at? Is there a particular
Nope, just go have fun. It's very approachable. You know, everybody there, it's kind of a smaller scale builder show, which makes it far more comfortable.
That's cool. Nice. Okay,
And
cool.
it keeps getting bigger every year, so it's a good one. A lot of good people go to it. So certainly worth going.
Nice.
Bring your whole class.
What's that?
Bring your whole class. Kind of stuff they should be doing.
Yeah, for real. That would be good. Oh, look, they have a YouTube channel. Okay. Let's see what they got here. Information. This is a session right here. Okay, that's a pizza. Advertising. There we go. JLC TV. Cool. Baseboard curve. I
Yeah.
feel like I've seen this guy before. Okay, so that's cool. So then it's like they set up like a mock setup, and then you can like actually do work and demonstrate.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I always come up, you come back from these shows like super charged up, That's cool. So, all right. So let's swing it back over to Aron for a second. Was there another lesson you wanted to go over here?
You pick
All right, I like
literally-
this. I'm gonna pick this one. What's happening here?
Okay, so I forget how this came about, but somebody was having some problems with a hip roof, and just they weren't figuring out dropping the hip, and this basically just goes on to like one way to figure out how much to take off to drop your hip, or to show the bevel you require for your hip. Yeah, it's well, I don't know if we can.
You're gonna
pause it there.
laugh. What's a hip
I gotta
roof?
figure out screen sharing so that I can like pause it at appropriate points and point things out. But
So,
got you.
Ron, if someone were to say gable roof, would you know what a gable roof is?
Okay. Yeah, the gables.
There's another one with the
So,
gable roof there somewhere.
A gable roof would be the one you'd want to learn first, and then advance into the hip roof. Unless you're a garage builder, then you'll only train on hip roofs, probably. Not easy.
Okay, because you got to get all the angles right.
Well, it's all about angles.
Right. Interesting. All right, let's find some more destruction.
It all boils down to rise and run in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Matt, he does have Ron, he does have a lot of math lessons on there.
Okay.
With the rise and run. He has a bunch of them.
Oh,
different calculations. These can probably all be done like warm-ups for class. Just get kids' brains working. He runs through with this same formula, but he changes the numbers up just to show you how he gets the rise and run them.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, Duke, if you find one, let me know.
Yeah, well,
oh, here we go. All right, I see a compass.
Oh, just probably different applications of making a circle, probably.
I have that type of compass in the shop. That's an old school one.
Those they're great for sheet metal too, because the seal is hard enough on them. You can actually jam them into sheet metal and use them like an awl and actually scribe your metal.
Yeah. Oh, this is
but
good.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. You're just giving examples. Oh, look at that. You're using the. Oh, and you can lock it into the teeth.
That's the Canadian size ice pick.
That's awesome. That was a cool idea.
It's an all important tool.
All right, this is good. Let's look for destruction.
Yeah, go all the ways up top.
Oh,
Ron.
We're down below, Duke.
Yeah, you're down too far.
Yeah, okay, all right, we're back up. Oh, what?
Right there. You see one? There's one
on here.
Oh, this is just kind of funny. This wasn't.
Yeah, the exposed wire. Not yet. You're going up to it, right?
We're gonna get there.
Yeah, here it is. There.
Yeah, keep going though.
Oh,
keep
better.
going because it gets funnier.
Oh. Wait a minute. What's wrong with this picture? Hold on. You got the wait. So, black is hot, right?
In theory, yeah.
What's that?
In theory, never assume, but in theory.
Okay. And then the white is neutral.
You're neutral, yeah.
And then what's this other one?
Well, that's actually another white wire. That's an old white wire. That's actually aluminum wire.
All right. And they just tied them together?
Well, somebody did. The funny part is like you've got this tape splice, which is 3 inches away from the moret. Like, why did we need that there?
Oh, man. Yeah. This is the danger zone right here. Oh, and then another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? They're
Thank
just
you for electrical tape. Everyone brags about duct tape, but look at how beautiful that electrical tape is.
And it had been there for a while too.
Oh my God.
So yeah.
And then you're telling us how to get out of the jam here.
Yeah, that's just one way to do it. I didn't catch somebody before they got that off the ceiling, but Would have been easier to do if it was still attached to the ceiling, but just one way to do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily show this to somebody in shop class right away because
No, yeah, they're gonna nick the wire and then
the
things are gonna
Sawzall can get away with from you quickly if you haven't used it a few times.
Well, I don't show them the Sawzall until they know how to use the handsaw.
Yeah.
I treat the kids like spies. They're on a need-to-know basis.
Keep it
You
simple. Keep it simple.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. What are you explaining here? I feel like I saw this a bunch of times. I can't remember.
Well, sometimes I just talk. That's me talking actually about changing how we do business.
This is Jobber, right?
Yeah.
All right. Maybe you could explain that a little. I pulled it up, your link tree.
Yeah.
Which then brought me over to Jobber.
Well,
What's Jobber?
It's an app, and there's a lot more to it, and some of it we may never completely utilize, but basically it's gotten us away from paper timesheets. Like I still have it right here, day timer. I've run one for like a couple. I probably will still continue to use one, but in the last few years, our younger apprentices, people coming on board, they don't want a paper timesheet. They want an electronic timesheet. And one of the things that Jobber enabled us to do was to schedule a project, send out a notification to like anybody that's going to be going to that job. And then on their phone, they get the notification. And when they get to the job in the morning, they can clock in. And when they're done the job at the end of the day, they can clock out all on their phone. And then we can track it all on a computer later.
Wait, you're joking. That's awesome.
Well, believe me, it was a little bit, well, not mind blowing because I knew stuff like this was out there, but we're making the transition, right? And
you could be like, let's say a sub, which I'm learning the lingo. You can't say subcontractor. You got to say sub.
Well, you can say subcontractor, but then they're going to know, right?
That's good. So
he knows, but he doesn't really know because he says subcontractor.
Yeah. So you could be a sub, right? And you just show up with your rig, clock in because you got the app, do your job, and if they trust you, they'll inspect your work later or whatever, clock out, and if you did a good job, you'd probably be hired back.
Yeah.
It's almost like an Uber or
there's even like the option to put like GPS tracker in with it too.
Really?
So if you've got like these mass crews or whatever, you could actually like keep track of everybody. It's a really good app. It's a really good program.
Interesting.
So, and the overall company, they're interested in developing businesses. Like they're putting money back into their customers, and that's any corporation that's like that they're trying to help develop the people that, even if I couldn't use it, I'd probably support it.
Wow. No kidding. That sounds great. I didn't even know about this. See, this is the stuff the shop teacher kind of works in a silo, I didn't know this was, I'm not on the job site. I'm hanging out with the teenagers. So I got to talk to you guys and find out what's the latest going on. This is awesome. Matt, are you using the Jobber for just to play around with the kids maybe? No?
Probably not.
No, I haven't quite got to that point. Now, what we did start using was Smartsheet for project management and, showing them scheduling and stuff like that. And the nice thing is Smartsheet does a free licensing. So you get 100 free license for educational purposes, which is awesome. And I mean, you know, there's some big corporation, you know, big builders that use Smartsheet and other corporations. Like it's a, you know, pretty powerful project management software. So yeah, we're learning together with that. I told kids, you know, we'll try out things. We'll see how this works. There's a few things I wish it did that, or maybe it does. I haven't figured out yet, but you know, we throw the Gantt chart and stuff in there, and you know, maybe we'll get talking with the kids about critical path and all that kind of stuff and the management side. But at least right now, just, you know, I can put which kids are working on which task, and they can look it up and switch their what tasks they got for the next day coming up. And yeah, we'll call it entry to construction management.
Interesting.
Yeah,
But I'm not against the idea of having kids clock in and clock out either.
It's not a bad idea. Interesting. And Matt, do you manage this software, or do you have a kid that's kind of on it, or?
I manage it, so like I control all their, so they all have their own account, and then I control what they can do and not do on it and stuff. So it's pretty nice. Like you're the administrator of it, and then you can give these license and let them join on. And then, but nice thing is they have like pre-built. I mean, pretty much it's like high-powered Excel programs, right? That all kind of come together, and they got like pre-made like budgeting and estimating sheets and stuff. That so I told the kids that we kind of what's left that we can kind of start practicing with that kind of stuff. And like I said, I'm kind of teaching on the fly as I'm learning.
Yeah.
So you know, we're not getting super technical with everything that it could do, but I could definitely see how here, you know, maybe after this year, and I can dive into it even more, it could really become the kids could actually look at this start at the very beginning, see the whole project on paper. You know, they may not understand what the whole project is, but they can see how all these tasks link together and stuff, and hopefully give them a better idea of what's going on the next day has really helped. Like I started doing that right before semester. I was getting kind of bad at, you know, not flying by the seat of my pants, but for the kids, it kind of felt that way. So making sure they're on the same page where the kids already show up knowing, okay, I'm the one in drywall, so this is where my mindset is, or I'm the one that's going to be working on putting up soffit. I'm going to be outside. So, you know, it kind of gets their mind kind of right before they show up to the job site. So I find that that's helped out a lot these last few weeks.
Okay, that's interesting. I should probably start doing that as well.
Yeah, every professional development always says you should do that as teachers, and then
yeah.
And finally, I started doing it. It works.
Cool. Okay. So, so going back to Jobber for a sec, they got a video about it. You know, this kind of would be interesting. And so you use that now, right?
Okay. I haven't seen this particular video, but
yeah, they're doing the thing. They're doing the thing. I guess if you listen to it, yeah, I don't play it because it's then, you know, I'd rather hear you guys talk about it. But okay, this is interesting. Cool. And then I also have now what's going on with this mentor nomination form?
Okay. So me and a couple of friends of mine on Instagram, Marcus, Broski Builds, and Chris from Live Free Contracting, we have an Instagram give back going on right now. And any apprentice or any new person to the trades can enter it. But there's a twist. You can also click on this link and you can nominate a mentor to win as well. So like anybody who took the time to teach you anything, literally anything, you know, whether it was like how to use a framing square or, you know, just helped you do better in life for like, you know, just some basic life skills that maybe you never picked up somewhere else along the way. Because there's so much stuff that you guys can't teach kids in school. You don't have the time.
Yeah.
We have an apprentice who works for us right now, and she's trying to buy her first house, and there's no class for that.
That's true.
There's no class
That's
for
true.
that.
I don't know why there isn't. It's crazy.
But, you know, there's no class in like the stuff that, like, how you got to deal with the bank and how you deal with the real estate agent, and you know, because there's a process, and if you don't know how to buy a house, or you don't have somebody in your corner when you're going to buy said house, you're probably going to pay full price, or maybe more.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of helping her with that, and you know, but this is like anybody who does anything like that for you, go ahead and you know, you can nominate a mentor. So
Nice.
So there's three apprentices that'll get selected and 2 mentor. And mention the timeline and these sponsors. Is
okay.
I was there. I saw what you're giving away. It's monumental.
It's
this is huge.
A really good chance to outfit 3 apprentices in some workwear, some basic tools, and it's not just carpentry. It's like not trade specific. So it could be, you know, plumber, electrician, HVAC, whatever. You know, just general everyday carry items that anybody could use in any trade. But the giveaway runs through to the 31st. And then we're going to go live on Instagram on the 4th of February and announce the 3 apprentices or people that are new to the trades and the 2 mentors.
Oh, it's coming up.
Yep.
Wow, no kidding. I'll try and kick it.
This actually started Monday. We launched this Monday.
I'll kick this out on the Shop Class Podcast Instagram.
And Ron, this is, like Mark was saying, like their giveaway package. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen an Instagram giveaway package that is this loaded. Like,
Wow.
it is big.
Wow, no kidding. So I'll put this out on the Shop Class Podcast. We can even put it on the newsletter. I don't know if we get it in time for the thing because the next one goes out, end of the weekend. But that's great. You know, this is great. You know, the thing is that what's really nice about all this stuff is that it seems like it's part of a community.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's awesome. And so who's the other person involved? Sorry,
what was that?
Who's your partner on this? You had someone you mentioned?
There's 2 other partners.
Okay.
Chris from Live Free Contracting and Marcus from Broski Builds.
We like Chris because he's from Chicago, but Steven and Marcus went to high school together.
All right. Is this it right here?
They had home ec together, and they learned about air fryers together.
Oh, look at this. They got a cool little video that goes with it. That's awesome.
The video is worth playing. The one from today is worth playing with the logos.
This one?
This
one?
The actual reel. No, that's a story.
Oh, I'm learning.
The reel with the logos on the side, just scroll down. Oh, there it is. Yep, that one.
Oh, cool. Be sure to head over to Big Dog Construction page to enter. This is all about it. The Stooges.
Yeah, he's explaining the rules.
Yeah.
That's Marcus.
You can turn the audio on if you want, Ron.
Okay.
Constructions, Key Utility, Self-Count, Sevilla, USA, Canada, Walt, CA, Bishop Power Tool, Canada, Black Ladder, North America, Bad, North America, Pika, High Specs Eyewear, and Atlas Machinery. Make these prize packs awesome. You can follow the rules in the post below if you want to nominate a mentor.
Go to any of our bios, find the Google Doc, fill it out, nominate a mentor. Giveaway starts right now. Runs to January 31st. We'll be live February 4th. We'll announce the winners. In the spirit of community, if you want to do a shout out to an apprentice or a mentor, tag all three of us in a story and use the hashtag Shoot Some Obligation.
Cool.
Welcome to our
We learned to talk like that from the pH forecast, Mark.
that was like very fast. That's good. This is great. Yeah, we'll just do it right now. Can we? Oh, am I on? I don't know which logon I got on. Oh, here we go. Okay, I'll send it to that one, and then I'll get out later. That's great. Cool. You guys are like the IG masters. Oh, and who's the other person? Aaron, who's the other person I should look
Chris,
at?
Lib Free Contracting, and you got Marcus from Broski Builds.
Oops. Broski. There we go.
Yeah.
Boom. Already following. Nice. And there it is.
Welcome to our Winter's Give Back. Let's start the year off.
Nice. This is awesome. Okay, cool. No, it's great what you guys are doing. This is excellent. Oh, he's on the job site, man. Oh, look, he's got your electrical going on. Cool. All right, this is cool. Now, let me see here. Oh, you got the workwear. If you click on the black ladder. Okay. I saw you did the demo with the pants and everything. How you don't want to have the ripstop. Yeah. What's a good one for the auto shop teacher guy?
They've got knee pads that fit right in them too. If you're going to be like down on your knees and stuff.
Yeah.
Especially women.
Caps, knees, jacket, knee pads protect.
Yeah. But no, I
Look at
tried to ruin a pair of their pants. I couldn't wear them every day because some days you got to wash them. But I tried to wear the same pair of pants every day for around a year and a half, and eventually they did have a rip in them. But I wore them like framing, roofing, demo, renovations.
Are these the ones right here?
No, I recently started trying a set of those, but they're the 1690 rip stops. I gotta let a dog out, but one of the reasons that I like these, I don't just like black ladder, but that first pair of pants, they said they're gonna last. I tried it; they absolutely did last. They were a little bit more money than what I would typically pay for a pair of work pants, but they outlasted.
It's worth it because you buy a pair of pants, they rip, and then you gotta buy another pair of pants, and those rip. Like I was shopping at, I was buying climbing pants because they were just comfortable and a little bit durable. Well, if you walk past anything sticking out, done. So I'll probably switch to these.
These with the gusset in them are really comfortable, and they dry out quickly. But the whole company is about sustainability. It's like one of their company core. I don't know. I can't think of it, but anyways, it's something that's very important to them. And if you have to, instead of buying like 4 pairs of pants a year, you buy 2. Even if they cost a little more, it's totally worth it.
Is this it right here? 1690.
1690s. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, it's worth it because
now, the other pair of pants.
Otherwise, you're gonna ruin them. Go ahead. What do you got?
The other pair of pants that you had up there, they've got the external pockets in them. You can tuck them in, but if you're just doing like light trim work or punch list items or something like that, instead of having like a a full blown tool belt on, that works out great.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Actually, this comes in handy. I'll tell you what, I need pockets as a shop teacher. You know, even though I'm not framing and I'm not on the job site, the kids, they come up to you with thousands of questions. So I got like LED lights in one pocket. I got batteries in another pocket. I got screwdrivers. I got things I find, like if they leave out a knife, I pick it up. I don't want to leave it out. So I need pockets. I don't got time to put stuff away all the time, you know? So shop teacher is a funny position. You definitely need the crew pockets or whatever. Cool.
If you want to be extremely fashionable, they make a work kilt as well.
Oh, really? Where do I find that?
You find it on Aron's Instagram page. He's wearing it.
I don't know if I could wear a kilt in the school. All right, we gotta find it. Oh, geez.
Somewhere in there, it's there somewhere. Yeah.
I think I did see you talking about the pants at one point. Here's the pants. This is the pants.
Yeah, those pants. It's funny. Pre-Instagram, I never had anybody ask me about my workwear.
That's funny. That's good. Where's the kilt? No,
It'll be September-ish.
Oh, geez, I don't know where that is.
Yeah, well.
Do you do one of these a day?
I try to. Yeah.
It's before Tim Horton and after Canadian Tire.
Oh.
It's funny. I used to
You just
do
went past it.
Oh, really?
Yep, it's on the right-hand side.
Oh my God.
There, stop.
Oh my God. That you were. Man, that's the funniest thing I've seen all day.
Well,
Just
can't all be work, right? Some of it has to be fun.
Oh my God.
if you're going up a ladder, you want to go first. You don't want to be the second guy.
Yeah,
Strictly for shop days only.
That's it. That's so funny. Good.
Climate change days.
All right. Well, oh, sorry. All right. This has been cool, man. Geez. I don't know what else to ask you. I want to ask you some more stuff. We also got, yeah, Duke, what do you got?
What's the where's Big Dog Construction come from?
Oh yeah, good question.
So so there's a long story to it, but we've always had large dogs. We're down to one right now, but typically we've had 3 large dogs, and that's where Big Dog Construction comes from. Right now we have 1 Newfoundland, but in the past we've had 2 Newfoundlands and a Great Pyrenees. So hopefully in the future there'll be another small big dog that will get rather large again soon too, but it's got to wait for that to happen. So
nice. Cool. And what do you see in the future for Big Dog? What's going on next?
Hopefully, mentor the next generation. We've got a pretty good house coming up a little later this spring. So that's, way above code, but not quite a passive house. Let a dog in.
We got some other people here. I want to give some shout outs. We got Andrew here. Andrew, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, Andrew's a welding instructor from probably about an hour north of me. And,
probably less than that.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, but you live a couple hours.
Oh yeah, I live probably an hour and 45 minutes away from you. But yeah.
He just won a whole bunch of awards from Harbor Freight and some other ones too.
Yeah.
And I'm looking to see what he's going to do next. He also has a side business, so he's like me. He's probably running around like a crazy person all the time.
Yep. Yeah. And then the wife wants to do an addition. So
Of course.
so we have a cape, which is cute to look at, but when the family's growing, it's not the most ideal. So I have to
Nice.
figure all that stuff out.
And what was the other award you got recently?
I can't say.
Oh, okay. That's actually good. I like that. All right.
But I have I've won so far $102,000 this year for the welding program.
Oh my God,
Nice.
that's awesome.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we're going with some augmented arc reality welding trainers from Miller. And then, as some of you guys know, I have a old bread truck.
Oh yeah.
And we're still aluminum spool gun welding away on that, trying to fix all the holes and dents and panels that got messed up from all the probably, carpenters and electricians that used it as a work van before us. So we're working on that. We're trying to figure out if we're going to use the original frame, or we have a frame from like early 2000s GMC. So we might try and adapt that frame to work underneath it, because then it will give us a newer suspension, easier to get parts for, more comfortable to drive, and all that fun stuff. So we have a bit on our plate, and then we have Skills USA coming up. So all those competitions we need to get ready for. So fun stuff.
And then I call randomly, and I tried to get you to teach my class. I have a side business where I teach welding at night. I hire 2 other welders, but one of them couldn't make it. So I was like, "Oh man, Andrew, get down here," But maybe in the future we could do something together. That'd be cool.
Yeah, for sure. Do you know about the?
What's your Instagram, real quick?
It's Swack Metals, SWAKMETALS. Does anybody do the nuts, bolts, and thingamajigs camp?
No, I haven't heard of that.
So like any of the maker type programs that you can kind of adapt things to, they're, I believe, the Fabricator and Manufacturers Association or something like that, FMA. They have a grant if you want to run a summer camp to try and build up like manufacturing type of jobs and stuff like that. So I just won like the $2,500 grant to run a 1-week camp to bring in like younger kids, middle school age, kind of do some projects with them for a week, just expose them to the trades and something that they might be interested in. So, I mean, I know mine's more of a welding camp per se, but I do a lot of fabrication, and I have a CNC plasma cutter. One of the things that we're going to get with the grant money is a water jet, a small desktop water jet cutter, the Wazer cutter. So nice. Water jet for that. So we're going to get one of those as well. So, yeah, looking forward to that as well. So busy summer already ahead. So
yeah, definitely.
And then you guys probably don't get it, but Harbor Freight, they the American Welding Society had a small article on the Harbor Freight welding teacher winners. So for the welding journal, AWS, they had a little paragraph. They kind of like say who does what in the industry, who are AWS members and stuff like that. So they kind of called us out and congratulated all the welding teachers that won for Harbor Freight Tools for Schools. So they're getting Harbor Freight out there and the Tools for Schools, recognized to show that, you should apply for it and try and get money for your programs and all that stuff.
That means more competition next year.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I think the application comes out in March, right, Andrew? Is that right?
I think so. Yeah. And like once you get it, it is nice. Like they want to continue to develop you. I don't know if it's like clearly stated and I know you've had some Harbor Freight Tools for Schools representatives. I think Scott was on here, Springer, and he was saying like, it's not just you win 50 grand and that's it. Like they want to put on workshops for you. They were going to have one in February, but you know, the whole COVID thing, again, with the increase in numbers, they put that off. But out in July, they want to fly us out to like California and do workshops, and where we get to actually meet all the other people that won, and they're going to put on some events and stuff like that.
Wow.
As long as travel's, you know, A-OK and all that fun stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I can't wait for some of these events to actually happen and get those things going. So
That's
yeah.
awesome, man. That's a good update.
Yeah.
That's great.
I think we missed an update. Didn't someone make anvils this weekend? Wasn't that a thing? Come on.
Who did that?
Nick?
Oh,
That was
no
Nick.
way. Nick. All right.
Yeah.
Tell us what's going on, man.
Wasn't it Nick?
That's awesome.
I want to see. I want to see Coyote get one of those drop on his head, Nick.
Yeah.
So the ones I posted on my personal account, those were from the machine that Jimmy gave me from Aron, his shop manager, passed away back in August. So
Okay.
and then this one, this I just posted on my school page. This is from the resin printer. This model I got off of Thingiverse. So this is solid plastic instead of an infill FDM type print.
Nice.
Hey, Nick, I seen you had a lot of supports on those small ones. You think you needed it?
That's what it was. So I literally, got Aaron's machine at my school, and I just started running files that were on the SD card. So I never touched any of those that we're looking at on the screen. So it is what it is.
You can probably run that without supports, I was thinking.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy, look at that car.
As enough draft.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? Is that a Ford F? Is that a BT40 now? Oh, it's some sort of Ferrari or Porsche.
Well, Ford's, I'm going to say it's Ford's, race car one, that they do on the Le Mans type track.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. Cool.
So yeah, that Ender, that I got it from Jimmy has been doing some nice prints, and that's just PLA filament, and then the
Yeah, it looks smooth, Nick. Nice.
That's cool. You could paint one of these black and kind of dress it up a little. You could, and then grab it with your hand and just pick it up. Be the old school shop teacher. Apparently, the shop teacher that was in my space before my supervisor. Geez, I don't know. We're talking 30 years ago or 40 years. He would pick it up. The Chavo would pick up the anvil with his hand. That's how it. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I heard.
If you
we
go,
have a Vulcan, probably 150, 175 in my room, and then my colleague brought his little Vulcan, probably 100 from the middle school over. And we have a little Farrier forge.
Oh.
Or Smellberg. So I do some blacksmithing when the kids are in metalworking.
Oh, that's awesome. I want to get into blacksmithing, but on the side job, my side business, and teach it. And maybe you could help me with like a minimal setup.
Well, come up, February? Look on Makers Camp site. There's a forge thing in February.
In February?
Yeah. We're doing
you're doing another Makers Camp in February?
Huh?
The cats.
You're doing another
just in the winter they'll do a blacksmithing weekend. You just come up and blacksmith, and Jimmy will have some forges there and anvils, and other guys will bring their own anvils and equipment.
Oh, no kidding. So
that Makers Camp you guys had last year was phenomenal. I was drooling.
Yeah, that was cool.
Hey,
this one?
Real quick question, Aaron. I wanted to ask Aaron real quick. I heard you guys talking about it. I know you're going JLC live. Were you going down to IBS? Were you trying to get all the way down there, or is that JLC during IBS?
No,
No, IBS happens in February.
Yeah, like 2
and
weeks.
JLC is the end of March. So
Oh, okay.
I'm going to make it to JLC unless the world goes absolutely bonkers.
Okay. I heard you guys talking about it, and I didn't catch if you were going to be down there. So I know Steve will be down there, of course, everywhere.
Yeah. Where? Oh, I lost my tab. But
Austin
here we go.
put up a post a couple days ago on Instagram about when the hammer-in will be in the winter here in February.
Oh.
So look on the Instagram page.
Oh, who put it up? Which one?
Put it on Instagram and look up Makers Camp, and it'll probably be on there.
Oh, okay. I'm totally gonna go. That'll be awesome. Okay.
Yeah, the third one there on the right, top row.
Oh, here we go.
Hammer-in.
February 18th. Hammer in. What's a hammer in?
A bunch of people banging on hot metal.
All right. That's cool. Okay. Wow, we're getting a lot of there's a lot of dates to write down. This is good. Yeah, because I want to get a minimal setup so that because this kid Sal that I hire for the welding, I teach the class too, but I can't teach that many people. So and he's real enthusiastic. So I just asked him what he wants to do, and he said he wants to make knives. And I was like, I would make a knife, but it's not like my first choice. I'm like more into like car stuff and whatnot. But I would do it with him. So if he wants to teach it, I'll set up the equipment and we'll get that going, and then we'll learn from these guys. Like a minimal setup, that would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
See if there's some demand for it.
Actually, if you're going to do a course, what would be the best introductory tool to do?
Good question.
It's probably like tongs. Tongs are, even what you did, Ron, as far as when you were at Makers Camp. A small hook or, something to twist metal and shape it down.
Ice picks?
Hey, hold on. Speaking of Jimmy and ice picks.
I
went on a little bit of a shopping spree afterwards.
You got yourself some brown paper. That's some nice brown paper. It's great.
Well, it's pretty sturdy.
Yeah. If you go to Jimmy's page, Ron, you'll also see an 850-pound anvil. There you go. Open it up, dude.
Yeah, he's moving. He was moving it. I watched that video. All right, so we'll open her up
live.
See what's inside.
You need an ice pick to open it.
Yeah, I know. I kept using my teeth.
Oh, this is classic. This is a live unboxing.
Live unboxing. All right, let's go.
Oh, what does Nick have there? Okay.
So here we go. What is this? The paint by number.
The Carolina plate.
I make license plate.
Wow.
But everyone from New York got front plates. They're front platers. We're in Pennsylvania. We don't have the front license plate, so I don't understand that.
Yeah, we're not allowed to run front novelty plates without the state plate. So.
In Illinois, they give you tickets whether you have them or not.
And then that comes with a free. Hello, my name is.
No, I make is. Jimmy's proper English.
Hello, Slim Shady. That's good.
That's the first one. Now I got this nice cutting board I can use here. Let's see. Next up is my Jimmy DeResta keychain. All right. Which is injection molded. All right, can you guys get that? Not bad. Injection molded keychain. With my Jimmy stickers.
Here we go.
DeResta.
Next up,
Oh,
You got the
there it is, the Mini.
perfect for chairs in Manhattans, I would say.
Now, when we were on, he mentioned the Mini to me, and I thought I took offense to that. I was wondering if Nick told him that I was short.
Oh,
Well,
God.
that's the thing. I have one of his Chinese ones when he was having China make them, and this one keeps falling out of my pocket. And then I got a Mini, and it fits right in my pocket. I never lose it, no matter if I sit on the couch or in the car. It never falls out of my pocket. And I use it
Oh, man.
5-6 times a day at school.
Oh, I can't wait.
Duke, what if you stab yourself if the sheath comes off?
Well,
It won't.
I'm wondering. I can't wait to eat my salad tomorrow with this. I see him eating things all the time. So there's my.
He's having a little problem.
I'm having problems with it.
Stay away from the airports with that one, Duke.
And last but not least,
Oh, cool. What is that?
3D printed Duke keychain.
Oh, he made that for
No,
you?
no, Jimmy didn't make that. I just threw that in there. These will be sold though on the Shop Class Podcast website. So if anyone wants one, 3D printed.
We got to start the merch. We got the logo,
Yep.
dude.
That was my inspiration for today.
They got to get the Duke keychain going. I want one of those.
Hey, Ron, did you guys talk about you, me, and Duke jumping on the Cooper Live Friday?
Oh, right. No, I didn't
It was
mention it.
Steve.
Yeah.
We were with Steve actually because Mark had some technical
Yeah,
difficulties.
that was cool. Yeah, Steve was there. Thanks, Steve, for being there. That was awesome. Let me pull it up. Did they finally put it on the YouTube channel?
I don't know. It's kind of everywhere.
I think it's on there because I was watching something on YouTube the other day and it came up as a suggestion.
Yeah, that was a
Later or
great.
something.
And the kids went nuts. I don't know if you realized, my whole class behind me was like totally into it.
Yeah, that was a good way to end it with your kids coming in there. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, and then they looked for it. They were so excited, you know.
Can't believe how well behaved they were.
Ah, that's a weird class. That's a weird class. That's not normal. I know. They were like working.
Yeah, they all came in, just started working. You didn't need to be there, Ron.
I'm the problem in the class. I rile them up. I got the music going. I got a loudspeaker. I'm the kid in the class. They're like, you know. Oh, here we go. I found it. Yeah, we got a little commercial here. We get around that. Oh. Here it is. Steve coming in with a Mark hat. I want one of those Mark hats. Where do I find one of those?
Yeah, what website's that going to be on?
Yeah, I want to buy one of those, man. Oh, he's got it. Steve's got it. And he's got the T-stud in his hand. Yeah, that's
They have the
good.
T-stud somewhere. Look at Mark Willie outfitted.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got to get one of those for K-Wit. He's doing a little small shop.
Maybe we can trademark. I can get you maybe a big dog hat.
Oh, look at that.
Maybe I could get a Mark Willie purple beard hat.
Hey, you guys can try, but I was promised this hat was one of a kind.
So technically, if you look at Steve's hat, it's gray and purple on a black hat, and all the other ones will be like mine. It's black and purple. So he's got the one of a kind. The rest of it didn't make a keychain for me like he did for.
Hey.
That's awesome.
Hey, G-Man,
was really-
just an anecdotal story here for you. Guess who I'm having dinner with on Friday?
Who?
My shop class teacher from 1984 to 88.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Nice.
That's amazing. Man, that's what I can't believe it. Isn't it wild that like you could keep that connection going? Ah, it's so cool. What's he up to now?
He's fully retired and relaxing across the state. And I'm starting a project literally like 15 minutes away from him. So when it's under construction, I'll be able to bring him over there and we'll do a tour and talk more
Wow,
about
that's
it.
cool. Can you take a picture with him and then?
Oh, I'll take a picture. I'll post it and stuff.
Yeah, post
Sure.
it. We'll
And just for the record, his last name was Goodrich, so he called him G the whole time.
That's so funny. Goodrich is a good last name. My last name's like a bad singer, gross singer. So I'm always like, yeah, just Mr. G, you know.
Enough.
That's awesome. Yeah, we got to keep these connections going. You know, that's really awesome that you're meeting with him.
Yeah, no, it's a great guy, great influence.
Yeah, big time. Now, Duke, when Duke was on the show here, Duke is looking super hard, like extra hardcore here. So he's in the shop. He was in the shop. He's looking very shop teacher-ish.
Duke always looks like all business.
Yeah.
There's
I look like a guy off the street. I'm like with the peacock.
Yeah, you're the guy that they come in and go, hey, who let this guy in the shop? Is he in there to get warm? Somebody's got to tell him he's got to leave.
Well, you got to be serious the first couple of days. You know, lay down the foundation, and then you can ease up like Ron.
That's so funny. Oh man, this is good. Okay, that's cool. And that was a lot of fun doing that. Now he's also got something going on with this the boxable thing, and I want to do some research on this because well, this is just a commercial here, but I want to do some research on that because from an outside perspective, it looks interesting about these pre-made like robotic looking houses, you know, but as far as like it's made in a factory, but they unfold, you know.
You should ask them about tightness and thermal bridges, Ron. See what they have to say.
Yeah, I wonder what they're doing. Yeah, I wonder if this thing even is insulated. Oh my God. You know, because they're making a big deal out of it. Elon Musk is living in one apparently.
No, that was that got debunked. That got debunked.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Kidding. Okay. But you know, I don't know. I don't have context about these things, you know. So it seems like they can attach them together. They're saying it's like a big deal in the future, but it may be like we've already had prefab homes. So how is it different, you know?
Well, you know, you could get a cooler, and before you make it to your boat, your cooler opens up, right, and spills your daughter's Cheetos on the ground, right? Or you could go, for instance, Taylorville, and have a high-performance home built by kids with details. So there's good factories making Cheetos falling out of coolers, and then there's other things. So that's not to say Boxable is not, you know, the lunchbox of the future, but what it is to say is that there's always a variety.
Yeah, I get it.
So you don't, you know, if you're getting a cooler, you want it to be a good cooler, right? You don't want your salami sandwich to be mush.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. So a lot to prove. They got to prove themselves. There's a lot to go. Interesting. Cool. Let's see what, you know, what else should we cover? I mean, it is pretty late. We could end it here. And we can still hang out a little bit. This is pretty good. Let's stop the recording here. And yeah, there we go. Big Dog Construction. Aaron, thank you so much for doing this. And actually,
been awesome, Ron.
Yeah, you helped us with the schedule because now I can actually get to bed on time. Very cool. So Big Dog Construction, lots of things coming. This is awesome. And I look forward to learning more about all the house failures. This is my favorite thing to learn about.
It's how we learn.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna hit the record. Okay, thanks for tuning in, Shop Class Podcast. Oh, next week, let me just tell you what we got next week. Next week, we actually have, next week we got a local guy. He's doing a prefab house for Matt knows what he's doing. What's Frank doing? Sorry.
Oh, Frank. Yeah. How do you say? Is that Cacavel?
Yeah, it's
Is that
hard
how
to
you say Frank's last name?
Yeah.
Yeah. So him and the kids built a house for Habitat for Humanity, a tire house. They built it out in the parking lot. In fact, I'm going to use his as one of the examples when I talked down there at IBS about options for programs. But they built the entire house, prefabbed it for Habitat for Humanity. He's been getting all kinds of news press all over the news, getting interviews, highlighting the kids. I think it's one of those things just like ours. It took a little longer because of COVID last year, of course. But
This is what he's making.
Yeah, a great option for getting the kids the hands-on stuff. So yeah, he's been all over the place too. On the news and on social media and stuff, and getting a lot of positive attention and stuff. So yeah, Frank. And then he does stuff with you guys with the New Jersey Tech, whatever your guys' association is and stuff, right?
Yeah, I know him. So he does he does the tech edit. He's the executive director of NJTEEA, which is, they've been more active and less active. They've gone through waves, but when I first got into teaching, this was the organization that helped me. It's not a union. It's just a place where shop teachers get together and you have resources and job placement, but also, here he is, executive director, but also they help you through the process of alternate route in case you're coming from another industry. Because I didn't go to school for teaching. I went for product design and then I switched in. And they got events every year. They got a conference. What's cool is you could show present your stuff at the conference, which is good. So they got membership. But yeah, so that'll be good because we'll cover that. Plus we'll cover what he's doing in his school. So it's kind of like a double topic.
That's a pretty small world. So this afternoon, some of you guys might have met before. Shannon, the girl that's on construction tech with me, the architect, she just got named to the board of this group.
Are you kidding?
I don't think it's announced. I guess we're technically still recording here, but yeah, that was one of the things I was going to update you about, Ron.
Oh, so she's in Jersey?
She's in New Hope, Pennsylvania, but she's added to the board of this because of her skill set.
Oh, that's great. No kidding. Wow, it is a small world. Oh my God. That's awesome. Well, this is a good group, and they're active and they actually work on the state level as well. They try and get the state to add shop class as like a requirement. They would know more about that than I do, but they definitely meet with the people that make decisions about schools, because right now it's still an elective and it can get cut, which is always in danger. But actually, that's what keeps me on my toes. I know towns next door to me don't have it, so I keep on trying to do new stuff and whatnot. Cool, that's great. All right, well, maybe she'll come on with him next week if she's got time. Okay, cool. So, all right, so we'll end it there. Oh, and then on the 16th, hold on, we got more. No, on the 9th, we got Outlaw Drums. Okay, by the way, this is the first time I've had guests lined up. So I've finally been working on it.
Willie, didn't you post that Outlaw Drums?
Yeah.
Mark?
Oh, someone else did, right?
Mark, he's shared a reel on our messages or something.
Somebody put it out there.
Leave it to me to forget things, Duke. I might have.
Mark can't keep track of all those posts.
No, he can't.
Okay, so check this out.
That's true.
They make These people make like such a cool thing, right? So, okay, you see these drums? They're
Mark
made.
must have been posting in his dreams.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, Mark is the internet. I love that. Duke said that. I was dying when he said that. So he does this crazy thing where he makes I guess I don't know how he does this. No, wait, he does the inside with his like a custom rig. Anyway, he basically makes these out of wood and whatnot. He puts them on. I don't know where it is that he has the video of how he does it. This is probably it.
That's all right. He's going to show us on the Shop Class podcast next in
That's
2
fine.
weeks.
Exactly. Okay. So anyway, he agreed to it. He's coming on the 9th. Then after that,
I was confused for the record, Duke. I thought you and Matt just said the word drones. And, you know, I got a certain feeling about drones, but no, this drum guy, yes. And I also gave Ron like 40 different names over the weekend. So some of the stuff is a little screwy in the small noggin with holes.
yeah. So I think that's what I got lined up so far. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what's coming. Cool. Frank and Outlaw Drums. Oh, I'm so sorry. We also have Girls That Frame. And she was on the podcast with Mike Kanoki.
Yeah.
Brittany. Yeah, so let me see. Brittany, yeah. I think she's on the 16th. There it is. So we got 3 guests lined up. And
Aaron, didn't she win one of your giveaways? Was that her?
I don't think so. I
was just thinking the world was even smaller.
Oh yeah,
I forgot. Yeah,
but she was on Mike's podcast, and she is a nice young lady who is really becoming a carpenter and a framer. So, you know, kudos go out to her for that.
Girls can frame. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, Aaron, we need to talk to Marcus and Chris and get those guys on here. And you, all 3 of you guys, to jump on here. Maybe sometime after you guys give your giveaway out and stuff.
Yeah, you
guys
know what?
will
I
be a
will
fun
talk to the guys. I will talk to the guys, and we'll see if we can't make this happen.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know how Mark does it. Mark is on something every night.
Thanks.
Maybe it's just the red wine. I don't know, but
Thankfully, Aaron, it's about to change. That schedule changes. Big changes here.
But no, absolutely. Sometime in February when it works out for you guys, yeah. And maybe I'll even be prepared and have something to lined up.
Oh, this is all just go with it. But yeah, if we get those guys on there, Broski Builds and Chris and, you know, Marcus and Chris and you guys, I mean, that'll be a fun show. Just you guys are always fun to talk to, and especially when you guys do your Instagram lives and stuff. So
it's like the construction version of Seinfeld. We get together and we talk about nothing for 3 hours, and occasionally Steve shows up and bugs Broski about his food habits.
That's always entertaining too.
Oh, wait. Is that the podcast you guys are talking about?
No,
this was just an Instagram live they do like every weekend. I was on there one day with them. It's fun. It's always a good time. Like, just it's entertaining to sit and just watch and listen to them. And then Steve gets on there and gives Marcus a hard time, and then of course that becomes even more fun. And yeah, it's just them recording their, you know, like how you guys started the podcast. It's them putting on social media their phone conversation. Yeah. I mean, that's what it is.
Literally it is we're having coffee, but we can't be together. So we're having like virtual coffee and talking about nothing, everything, something. Yeah, it just depends on what's going on. Sometimes it's very deep, and sometimes it's just all like barbs and jabs and making fun
But
of
like,
people.
for example, like your buddy Joe, right? When you guys were live the other day, what Matt was referring to, Ron and Duke and Joe comes on and he says, "I'm going to give you guys a tool belt to give away as part of your tool back give back program." And this is probably what, an 800-hour setup.
Actually, Joe, at the end of it, I think Joe offered up 2 or 3 belts. And we're not talking like cheap tool belts. We're talking, probably the cheapest rig in there is probably a $400 rig. So probably in the neighborhood of $1,200-$1,500 worth of tool belts, maybe even more than that.
Yep. And then Garrett, who goes by Life of Bub, he was giving you 1 or 2 that are, between $275 and $425.
Actually, the rig that he's giving is probably around $800. Yeah.
Wow.
He's like, if you have a minute and you're interested in leather tool belts, go check out Acrobus Leather.
How do you spell that?
Luke is
dude, they're beautiful. I was talking to Joe. Me and Joe got talking after, because we had we had our back and forth about, and then I got talking to. In fact, Joe and I, our thoughts on tool belts are actually very in line. And then I was talking about the challenges of finding them and all this stuff. But he goes, go to Arquebus, right? Arquebus, yeah. Oh my God, these things are beautiful. Like,
yeah, they're art. They're art.
And because I was telling him actually the best tool belt I ever had, or most comfortable I ever had, was a leather front pouch, like $50 one I was given a long time ago, and I'd never found one that was as comfortable to wear all day. And then he's like, oh, and then so we had probably about a half an hour DM conversation the other day, just talking about tool belts and stuff. So yeah. Joe's he was a good one to get connected with. Him and Garrett both. I've chatted with Garrett since being on there with you guys. So
yeah. And Matt, before I forget, it is cold here in the winter from time to time, but we do take summer interns.
I tell my kids, I tell them all the time, I'm like, where do you guys want to go? Like I'm telling you, I can probably get you at least an interview, or somebody knows somebody. I was like, I just happen to know. I know a lot more people in Canada now, and a lot of people in Maine. Like the Maine, the Northeast. That's probably because getting connected with Steve so early on and all this. Maybe that has something to do with it or something. But the Northeast, and I did have one kid ask me. He goes, "You know anybody in Australia?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually, I do. His name's Brad." Oh, and Damien. It's like, I know a teacher. And I was like, and they're like, "No." I'm like, guys, I'm telling you, like, I was like, I'm not the one with tens of thousands of followers, but the people I know are connected very well. Like, just like I talk about it all the time. The network has probably been the most beneficial thing.
Crazy
for me, as far as growth as a teacher and growth, networking from my students and everything, and and opportunities, even fun opportunities for myself, has been great. It's always fun, for me as a teacher. It's fun to get to try these products that maybe I wouldn't have had as easy access to, and getting text messages asking what I got plans for, an IBS, if I want to go, meet up at these dinners or happy hours and stuff. So, for me on the teacher side is, it's very fun, but, the opportunities that opens up for my students is just, I keep telling them, like, guys, don't waste it. If you want, I'll make a phone call, send a text message, whatever, you at least get your foot in the door. So, You guys have all been awesome, and getting connected with teachers. Like I always talk about the professionals in the carpentry world and construction world, but all these teachers, Ron and Duke and Nick and Tim and Barbercheck, and my shop teacher list goes on just as deep as my trade professional does, thanks to Instagram and stuff. So and now these worlds are starting to mesh, which is even cooler. And I actually, that's one thing I get to kind of go talk about here in a couple of weeks, about bringing these two worlds together and create more opportunities. So
the show is coming up.
Say that again, Ron.
Oh yeah, the show's coming up. That's so cool.
Yeah, just a couple weeks away. So
man, that's awesome.
And I've been making my list of all the areas I got to stop. I know Steve and Jake are doing stuff with Huber and whoever else they're going to be down there with. But I know Huber's one of their big ones they'll be being with, and I'll be stopping by there.
Peter Yost will be there.
Peter. Well, Mike that we've had on here. Anshel, is that how you say his last name? When we had Michael on here from
OA Builds.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, when we had he's going to be down there doing with Pro Craft, right? Is he Pro Craft?
I don't know who's sponsoring him.
Because he's actually going to be at their, it's like Pro Trade Craft or whatever he does with those guys. Or he's part of that, right? Doing some demonstrations, they're like, I think, or something.
Yeah, he's doing some demonstration. I don't know for who, and then Ben Bogey's got the whole demonstration thing going on. And Dave's going to be there with this whole film crew, and Steve will be there with their film crew.
Yeah, I think my plan is to meet up with Dave at some point, and then I'll tell you what, that Ben Bogey would be a fun one to get on here. He actually dropped out of high school, right? I think that's his story. Dude, like a genius. He's got his viewpoint on school and everything else would be a good one. Like,
oh yeah,
Ben's a good one just to talk about, school in general and stuff.
Not for nothing, but yeah, I won't say too much, but we've had some students that are super stressed out about SATs and colleges and whatnot, and the schools in general just don't push or explain that there's more options than that. And so the stress level, without saying it, I'll just say it, the stress level is extremely high for these kids to get into some sort of what they think is going to be like college that saves them or something like that. And it's like, well, there's a lot of options. And I think that, spreading the message that there's a lot of options and you can combine the options is important for the kids to hear. And so if we could strengthen the shop teachers through communication, then maybe the kids will get, some more options, Just something that came up this week. It was crazy. You can only imagine. Anyway. Yeah. So that's good. So that's coming up. You got and what's the first thing you're going to?
I'm sorry, what did you say, Ron?
Oh, what's the first event you're going to?
The first official thing that I'll be attending is the SASHCO. That's where I'll get to do the presentation with Reisinger. Because it kicks off. Steve, aren't you guys doing something with Huber? Is that Tuesday morning? Oh, you're muted, Steve.
Yeah, we're talking. I'm at the Huber booth in the morning and doing a bunch of stuff with a builder out of San Diego, Patriot Builder. Shane Durkin is his name. He's a former Navy SEAL. Great guy.
Oh, wow.
And talking with him, and then Peter and I are giving a class later Tuesday afternoon.
That's awesome. That's going to be so exciting. So we're going to, maybe when you come back, we'll get the update. You'll be busy next week. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be my first one going, so I'm excited. And it's just another opportunity to meet a lot of these people in person that I've been very fortunate to get to meet, especially from the Midwest Building Science Symposium. But to meet some more of these people and obviously see these guys that I have met already in person and just to get I've been in these shows before. I just haven't been to IBS and stuff. So I'm excited just to go around and tour the floor and see what's going on. And I'm getting my professional. I'm getting these counted as professional development days for the school. So I got to go do my professional development.
Nice.
The infamous Mark Willie will be there too.
Is that official yet now, Mark? Mark's everywhere. To say Mark is or isn't going to be there, he's everywhere. So I'll probably see Mark. There'll probably be like 4 Marks down there. That'll explain everything. So yeah, I'm sure I'll be running around there with Mark too, doing some stuff.
Cool. Well, this is good. All right, so we'll leave it here. I think we got the massive updates. There's a lot of stuff going on. Geez, I mean, this just connecting with all the shop teachers and all the tradespeople and people that are doing innovative stuff. That was the dream, but I didn't realize that would actually happen. So I'm really glad everybody spends the time to connect with us. All right, awesome. Okay, I'm gonna T-stud, baby. All right, let's take a thermal break. And I've been waiting to say that. I'm going to hit stop, and we'll see you guys next week. Big Dog Construction. Aaron, thank you so much. And
thanks for having me.
Matt, Steve, thanks for dropping by. Duke, Nick, Andrew. All right.
A lot of Americans understood.
Cool.